Victor Echo 2, Mike Papa Delta, Montreal. The name is Dave. Over to you.
Well, thanks, Dave. Yeah, hi. Over to DMR, Mark, the local repeater downtown Windsor. When I use my hotspot on the other radio, I only hear one person. I was only hearing Randy there, and not my through my hotspot. You know, Grandmeister 30. I used to hear both sides of the conversation in the past. Something strange tonight that I only hear one, and that. So, anyways, over to you, Randy. And sounds like you might be getting the storm earlier this afternoon. Nothing too serious. I'm just off and on. I did manage to barbecue around 6 o'clock. So, you in the group, V3PV.
Yeah, V3PV, V3JP. Yeah, good evening, Rick. Yeah, we got some cloud moving in here. It looks like we are going to get something here. There's some flash. I'm not hearing any thunder, but it must be a high-level cloud lightning. But I do see the front moving in here, so we may be getting some rain in a few minutes. Finished putting the patio cushions away here, but anyway. Yeah, sometimes I have, actually quite often, I listen to the talk group, and I'm only getting one side of the conversation. I'm not hearing any, whatever mode it is, they may be having issues with it, not, or something like that. I'm not sure, but I don't know exactly where it's all linked up, so anyway. Okay, I'll pass it over to Dave in Montreal. VEU, MPD, VE3JP. You take it away, Dave. VE3JPU in the group from the 2MPD. Yeah, fine business. Very good. Yeah, it's amazing. Sometimes, again, I don't mean to step on anybody. Even on the U.S. side of things, on 3100, the same thing happened. I click the PTT to open the link, and I'm listening, and I don't hear. And I put a call out, and the next thing you know, oops, I think I stepped on a QSO, and I feel bad about it. It's like sometimes you don't always hear everything going on. Definitely, this repeater that I'm going through, it's VE2 Mike, VE2 RCM here in Montreal, and it's got a good function. So there's on this particular frequency, it is very there's practically no packet loss on anyone that I've ever worked. So I am not going through a hotspot. I'm going through direct RF. But I am planning on purchasing a hotspot in the fall when it rolls around again. I figure I might be able to get some good deals on a hotspot because the one downside, of course, is to constantly reactivate where, here at least this the Ontario Talk Group is not on demand, from what I can see, because I've left the rig on. I don't have to keep waking it up, and that's one of the great things about listening here. It's a real pain to have to keep going after 20 minutes and wait the 3100 and everything else. So once I get the hotspot, that's all going to be in the past. So, Victor, to take it, and you're in Windsor, I guess. I just wanted to mention, he worked for Northern Telecom, and in the day when he worked out of Montreal, contact with the plant in Windsor, because he was in the IBM, and they were in the late 50s and into the 60s, they were contacting one another as programmers. It was quite a new field at the time. My dad has some very interesting stories about how the to one another, and it was a very interesting job for the time. Back to you, and Northern, I think it went to London and probably hired a lot of people. That company went down. It was one of Canada's at one time, and it's no longer there, unfortunately. Over the Papa Victor and the group, the 2 Mike Papa Delta in Montreal.
Yeah, very good, Dave. Interesting about Northern Telecom. Yeah, I do recall. And it went under or whatever. Like factories and jobs here in the Windsor area and all over. Really. I mean, just look at what happened in Oshawa there and what's happened in Windsor. Well, 2 plants that I worked at, Elsie Hayes, manufacturing wheels for 25 years, and it closed in 1990. General Motors transmission, worked on security for 10 years, and that plant closed, I don't know, around 2010. So, that's the way the new industry in Windsor became Windsor, the downtown casino. Hired a lot of people, so times change. Industries change, as you know. But, 3023 static. Whether you're on Brandmeister or with a hotspot, like I do, it's all, and the same as the downtown repeater that I'm talking on right now, Radiodity GD77. It's always on, which is pretty handy. So, anyways, over to you. V3 JPU in the group, V3 PV.
Yeah, V3 PV, V3 JPU. Okay, very fine. My hotspot's a Raspberry Pi with a Lux MMDVM board. It's got 2 antennas on it so it's running transmit and receive at the same time, and I'm MD 380 handheld here, so I have mine set up through Brandmeister, and I set the certain talk groups. I set that up in the dashboard, and I can them static so they're on all the time. But and we have that set up too. I think we have those on our repeater that we maintain. We've got this talk group, and I think the which is tied into 3026, or no, this is 3023, something like that. I'm not sure. That runs over in Ottawa there. So, but anyway, no, it's easy to put a hotspot together yourself. I built it up myself. Got the image and burned it onto the flash. Shoved it into the thing and fired it up and made some adjustments in the Brandmeister configuration file, and built it into a little box. Threw a next-in screen on it, a larger screen on it. It came with a little tiny screen on it, but you could hardly see the thing, so the board did that. Picked that up off of eBay. It was pretty cheap, so under $100, I would say you could probably put something together for yourself. So, anyway, no, we're happy with it. It functions very well. Anyway, I'll pass it over to you. I'm still seeing lightning off to the northwest and from me here right now. I'm still sitting out in my deck here. I've put under a waterproof cover here, so if it does come down, at least that won't get Yeah, I'm just watching the light display here in the sky right at the moment, so it's definitely moving in here. Over to you, Dave. VE2, MPD, VE3, JPU. VE3, JPU in the group from Victor Echo 2 returning. Well, I'm envious right now. Boy, we could use that rain you're going to get. They're warning of very dangerous heat levels over the next couple of days here. And one that cannot take excessive heat. I'm very, very that. And as I get older, it's just getting worse and worse. I cannot. And anyway, it just seems like every summer is getting warmer and warmer here. Like the colder weather in the fall. I love the fall season. They get cooler. They get a lot more comfortable for sleeping. And I guess I was born to be a true blue Canadian, because I've always loved but the very excessive heat, I can't take it. I just getting really irritating. And in the building I live in, the majority of are older than me. They're seniors. Fortunately, some have air conditioning. I have air conditioning. I'm very fortunate, but there's some that do not. And I'm always listening for falls in this building. Some that just suffer exhaustion, and we had that quite a bit last summer. And I'm working with the building manager who lives in here, and she's always listening for falls. And so it is what it is. But I'm hoping to move out at some point. It's not that I don't like the people in here. I do, but it's a building where, if you can get an idea where I'm coming from, it's and one dryer in the basement. They don't allow individual apartments to have their own dryer for laundry, and they don't allow us to have a dishwasher. The electric system stand it. So it's the people. I've even got retired teachers in here, and nurses. I worked as a consultant in the education field for a long time. I moved in here because I needed a place real fast when my dad's duplex we lived in, and so now I'm on and saying this is not really for me anymore. And the building manager, she kind of agrees with me, having more problems walking herself, diabetic, and so a lot of us are wanting to get out of here. That's the long and the short of it. But we don't complain about it. We just joke about it. Anyway, I guess it goes back to Papa Victor in the group from VE2 Mike Papa Delta. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. B3PV Windsor. Yeah, well, good luck on the move. A nice place. I'm sure you will. But we've been in this house for 21 and a half years, and then in the house before another 21 and a half, so we don't move too often here at our location. But anyhow, the heat, we've just had a couple of 90 degrees, hot and humid, and today at 5 o'clock it was 90 at least, and the humidity was 113. I'm talking Fahrenheit, of course, but in the 30s, Celsius, but very humid. There were around 5 was 76%, so that gave the humidex 113 Fahrenheit. You can get an idea. The hot and humid, and I can't I made one trip to the store, get some hamburger buns, and that was it. 15 minutes. That was back home in the air conditioning. So that's about the long and the short of it. But we're all on DMR here, so I don't know why sometimes you only hear one side of a QSO. And I have two hot spots. They're both jumbo spots. So back over to you, Randy, from V3PV here.
Yeah, it's we're pretty talking about the weather here. We're pretty fortunate here today. It was overcast most of the day. We had a storm cell that came through, and it didn't do as much rain on us as I thought it was going to. It rained enough to get the road wet, and then it stopped. So here I noticed this lightning show I'm watching here in the sky. It's flashing all over the place, and I'm starting now. So something's moving in for sure, but it didn't seem to get terrible until the skies cleared and the sun came out later this afternoon. It was about 4 o'clock and it started. But yeah, I agree. I like the I like the cool. I'm not crazy about this excessive heat, but I'll take it over the winter. Sorry, I really am surprised we're getting this hot weather because the way the spring was, it was wet up until June, at least here where I am in Ajax, and I thought, oh, we're going to have a bummer summer, but we're getting some heat anyways. But anyway, no, I see these, just watching the skies here right now, and interesting bolts of lightning going on, but it must be, like I said, cloud to cloud lightning, because I'm not really hearing any thunder, but just the odd little rumble. So there you go. Anyway, over to you, Dave, and I'm located in Ajax, as I said. I'm fairly close to probably within a half a mile, probably, and the lake effect cooling helps us here. As soon as you get up to the 401 or north of that, it can get pretty hot. It's quite a change in temperature. The lake really controls it down. It's good and it's bad. When it's really hot, it's nice to get down closer to the lake, but not the same in the wintertime. But however, okay, Dave, over to you. VE2 JPU. E3 JPU. E2 NPD returning. Fine business there. Well, something that amazed me though, when I moved in here 3 years ago. And this building, after the war, I guess it was built in 1948, from what the building here. Because I was interested, and I asked her, and I guess somehow to figure out the history of the building and everything. Anyway, it's not a bad building. It's just, and as I said, my neighbors are great. But even they're getting tired of it. The reason being, as we all age, there is no elevator in here. There is no ramp. So basically, we had a very bad cold snap about 2 years ago in the middle of January and February. And to be honest with you guys, I started blowing fuses like crazy because I was turning on my stove in the kitchen for about 20-minute interval and then turning it off. Obviously, you don't want to keep it on too long to keep warm. And I had my heater on, and it was crazy. And my poor came here, and she said, oh my God, she said, it's just everybody's freezing in here. Even with the heat turned on, here, it was that cold. And so we were taking care of each other, and we were blowing fuses like crazy. Anyway, God bless my building manager. She was very patient through the whole thing. She's a retired social worker, and she just said, "Don't worry about it. You know, we're all trying to keep warm." And, you know, and we got through it. And you know, this building is just not for me. I'm looking to a place that will have what we would call, the words I'm going to use is semi-autonomous, because I am visually impaired. Under 10% vision in the left eye, totally blind in the right eye. So I'm looking at a place where at least they would provide, let's say, one meal, three, depending, and some services, some laundry, not much more than that. So semi-autonomous and very proud of it. As I said, 10% vision in the left eye, totally blind in the right eye, but very independent. But this building here, you know, I've lived here for 3 years, and it's just not for me. And most people first floor are agreeing with me right now. They've lived here a while, but it's the stairs, you know, and the fact that there's a lot of things here that are not. So I guess it's, you know, we're just kind of keeping good humor about it, and I'm not in a hurry yet, but I'm looking for something better. VE3, Papa Victor, and the group VE2 MPD. Over to you.
Okay, thanks, Dave. V3 Papa Victor. Yeah, well, that's, I can understand why you kind of have to move. Like you say there, it's not urgent, but you're looking. I'm sure you'll be looking around. And, boy, no ramp and no elevator, that's essential, you know. So actually you outgrew the place. And it was fine, you know, years ago, but now it's time for something else. More suitable. All the best. I'm going to have to make this my last mission. Have to go up and give the wife a hand in the kitchen. Than that, so I will say 73. It's been a pleasure. And really here. 3023. So, yeah, my other HT for DMR is like you, Randy, MD380. Yeah, you can't beat it, even though it's only UHF, but it's for DMR. So 73, and I'll be listening out. V3 JPU to take it. V3 BB.
Yeah, V3PV, V3JP. Okay, very fine, Rick. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to have to head into this storm front's moving here, and I imagine it's going to start raining soon, so I'm going to head in, and I'll my final two, and Dave, it was a real pleasure hooking up with you too, so I'll for you, and hopefully we'll talk again soon. See some break in the cloud there, but then I'm seeing another big mass of clouds coming in here, and the lightning's flashing out. Let's hope it doesn't get too now. It's picked up a bit too, so there you go. Hey guys, take care, have a great night, be safe. We'll talk to you again. Over to you, Dave. VE2 MPD, VE3 JPU, 73. From VE2 MPD in Montreal. Okay, 73. Yeah, always nice to be out here on this frequency, and hope as more links come in here, it'll be olden days on analog there when we used to keep some of the repeaters active till night. But the local repeaters here are all but dead here on analog. We did, unfortunately. So anyway, good evening, guys, and tomorrow's day, I guess is the way to put it. So 7-3 from Victor Echo 2, Mike Papa Delta. be listening. Any other stations that want to join in, if there's any here, great. So let's keep the frequency active. But I'll be listening. Victor, Mike Papa Delta, Montreal, just standing by.